Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to dive into a powerful and eye-opening topic, self-sabotage. If you've ever wondered why you hold yourself back, why you procrastinate, why you sometimes ruin your own success, this video is for you. This is going to come directly from Brianna Wiest's book, The Mountain Is You, and hopefully it will help you to identify and overcome some self-sabotaging behaviors. All of the behaviors that I'm going to discuss are directly from chapter 2 of the book, and I have to say a lot of them really resonated with me. As I'm going through these, I'm going to share with you some of the ways that I've sabotaged myself in the past, and I'm sure by the time I'm done, you're going to recognize some of these behaviors in yourself. So let's get into it. Self-sabotage is when we consciously or unconsciously prevent ourselves from reaching our goals. We know there's a problem in our lives, but instead of fixing it, we keep making choices that maintain the issue. Sound familiar? That's because most of us or all of us do it to some extent. The first one that she talks about in the book is resistance. Resistance is when we have something great in front of us, like an opportunity, a new relationship, a new venture, but we just can't seem to fully commit to it. Instead, we avoid, procrastinate, or create distractions. The key to overcoming resistance is to pause and identify your underlying fear. What are you afraid of? Once you acknowledge it, you can reframe it and take small steps forward. Personally, I have found myself resisting things, and this YouTube channel may be an example of that. I've had great growth in the first few months of making videos for this channel, and I've started to notice myself lately become a little more resistant to keeping up my 3 video a week schedule. And it's not because I don't have time. I think I'm overthinking what my topics are going to be and the whole process really. And I think I'm a little worried that as my channel continues to grow, I'm not going to be able to keep up the pace, and I don't want to disappoint my viewers. So I feel almost like I'm on the edge of a little resistance here with the channel, and I'm pushing through because it's a good thing. This is a really good thing that I've got going here. And reading this in the book has got me recognizing a little bit of resistance in myself. The next way we self-sabotage ourselves that Brianna mentions in the book is reaching our upper limit. Have you ever noticed how when things start going well, you suddenly find yourself messing it up? That's because we all have a threshold for happiness and success, our upper limit. When we go beyond what we're used to, we unconsciously bring ourselves back down. The solution is to recognize the self-sabotage, remind yourself that you deserve success, and take small, consistent steps to normalize the new level of happiness. I know that I've done this to myself in the past, and a part of it is a fear of when things get too good, then like the farther up you go, the farther you have to fall. So I'm always waiting for that shoe to drop. Self-sabotage method number 3, uprooting. Uprooting is where you keep starting over. A new city, a new relationship, a new job, without really staying long enough to truly grow. If this sounds like you, ask yourself, am I running toward something better or am I running away? The key to overcoming this is to practice patience and commitment. Give things time to blossom. This one was a big one for me. I've got rambling feet, I guess you can say, wandering feet. And I've moved a lot, not far, but I've moved households many times in my life, in my adult life, probably 10 times, maybe more. I have changed jobs, not a ton, but typically within 2 or 3 years of starting a job, I start getting bored of it. I have stayed in a couple of places for 10 to 12 years, but I've moved out of this town. I've moved to the beach. I've moved back. I've moved back to the beach. I've moved back. I've moved from my hometown to here. I've gone travel nursing because I was just feeling that kind of wanderlust. I've started so many things and not finished them or not continued them, lost interest, started something new. So I'm always starting something new, and I'm starting something new right now with this channel and this new way of life and this new real estate business, and you get my point. So if you think you're always uprooting your life and starting over, ask yourself what you're running away from. It's not always us trying to run to something better. Sometimes it's like the grass is greener type situation. We're just trying to run away from something that may start to feel stale towards something new that's exciting. All right, next, perfectionism. If you're into astrology at all, you might know that Virgo is known to be the perfectionist of the zodiac, and I am a Virgo moon and sun, so I'm a double Virgo. I'm a perfectionist. Perfection isn't just about having high standards, it's about fear. The best way to beat perfectionism is just focus on progress, not perfection. Just start and let yourself improve along the way. I've come a long way with this in the last 20 years or so. Progress, not perfection, has kind of become a mantra of mine, and it's helped me a lot. All right, the next method that we self-sabotage ourselves, limited emotional processing. If you avoid difficult emotions, you might be holding yourself back. Instead of avoiding and running from your emotions, try processing them. Identify what's wrong, validate your feelings, and then make a plan to move forward. Personally, I am a conflict avoider, and I recognize that. And I think to a certain extent that's okay because it keeps my stress level down, but also it has caused me to avoid things that I should have faced head on. All right, justification and excuses. Your life is measured by your actions, not your intentions. If you constantly make excuses, you're prioritizing comfort over growth. Stop accepting excuses and start tracking real progress. This is really about not wanting to get out of your comfort zone. Maybe you've joined the gym and you've made a commitment to go 3 times a week, and then suddenly on the day that it's time for you to go to the gym, it's too cold, it's too hot, I don't feel well, I've got a headache, I've got too many other things to do. This is what I'm talking about. Anything that you've got an intention to do something, but then you make excuses why you can't do it. That's what I'm talking about here. All of us do this, and I bet if you think about it, you can recognize ways that you've probably done it very recently. Back to the gym example, that's me. I told you a couple of weeks ago I started going to the gym, yet I have not been to the gym in about a week and a half. My excuse? I'll go this afternoon, and then this afternoon comes. Oh, I'll go this evening, and then I'm too busy. I'm too tired. I've had enough exercise today. Whatever. I think most of us are probably pretty guilty of this. Right, the next way we self-sabotage is disorganization. A cluttered space often equals a cluttered mind. It may be your house. It might be the inside of your car. It might be your front porch, your backyard. Organizing your environment can help you gain mental clarity and reduce stress, making it easier to focus on what truly matters. I struggle with this as a Virgo perfectionist and as someone with ADHD. Clutter really makes it hard for me to focus. Yet, because I'm doing so many things and so scattered and so, ADHD, sometimes my environment gets cluttered. And then as the clutter starts to bother me, and then it makes me more scattered, and then things get more cluttered. And this is a way that we self-sabotage. If you look around and your environment is in disarray, you're keeping yourself from focusing on what really matters. and you're giving yourself a reason to not do the things you said you were going to do. Oh, I need to stay home and clean the house. The next way we sabotage ourselves is attachment to what we don't really want. Are you chasing a goal just because you should? If something isn't truly making you happy, give yourself permission to reevaluate and pivot. Success should align with who you are now, not who you were years ago. Personally, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I just left my career last month. I walked away from a nice salary as well, and that job was who I was 10 years ago, 11 years ago almost now, when I started it. When I started it, I was trying to climb the corporate ladder and make more money and save for retirement and have nice things and go on vacations and all those things. And I somehow got attached to that, even though I changed as I have and as we all do. Even though my values and my goals changed through those years, I stayed attached to that title and that income and that job. And it caused me to sabotage so many other things that might have made me happier. But I think I'm on the right track now. All right, the next way that we sabotage ourselves, worrying about irrational fears. Sometimes we fixate on worst case scenarios that are highly unlikely. This can be a way of avoiding real fears by focusing on exaggerated ones. Instead of wasting energy trying to control these fears, ask yourself, what is this fear really trying to tell me? Often it signals something deeper that needs attention. Face that core fear and you'll begin to move past it. The core fear that I have that has been most relevant, I think, in the last several years is the fear of financial instability. And it kept me in that job. A lot of these are going to, overlap, as you can see. But it kept me in that job that I did not like and that did not feed my soul. And when I started to realize that I had that fear of financial instability that stemmed from my childhood and young adulthood, I began to see how irrational it was. I've started to move past it, and as every day goes on, I'm starting to feel less and less anxiety about money. Next, the way we self-sabotage ourselves with the fear of failure. The fear of looking bad to others stops us from trying. This is, number one, caring what other people think, and we're also afraid of what it will do to our own self-worth and self-image. Failure is the key to success, really. Every time, ask any successful person about failure, and they're going to tell you they failed 1,000 times before they succeeded. Failure is how you learn, and each failure gets you one step closer to success. Failure is a stepping stone to growth. Next, downplaying. That means minimizing our achievements due to discomfort with success. How many times when you were a kid or a teenager and you knew the answer, the teacher asked a question, you knew the answer and you didn't raise your hand because you were uncomfortable with being the one that knew the answer. You were uncomfortable with successfully answering the question. You didn't want other people to be threatened or critical of your success. Practice owning your wins and appreciating your progress. Know that you are worthy of success and you are worth celebrating. All right, here's a biggie. All of us do this. Self-sabotage through unhealthy habits. We continue behaviors that prevent us from being successful. It could be diet, it could be some sort of substance, alcohol, drugs, driving without a seatbelt. There's a plethora of unhealthy habits that people struggle with every day. Replace your bad habits with small, sustainable changes that align with your goals. Every time you make a decision to do something, ask yourself, is this going to align with my goals? There's a really great book, very popular. Many of you may have already read it, but Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's an awesome book to read if you're trying to change your habits, and it's about making small changes each day that add up to big changes over time. Believe it or not, judging others is a method of self-sabotage. It is a reflection of our own insecurities. Whenever you judge someone, ask yourself, what is it about them that is threatening to you, and what is it about yourself that is causing you to have those feelings? I'm going to say that I grew up in a very critical family, and I heard a lot of, whether it was family members or even just other women, other females growing up, friends, that as women, we judge each other. But we should be celebrating each other. We should be celebrating each other's success, and that will open up opportunity and abundance for us. So notice when you're judging others, because it's not good for you, and it's not going to help you meet your goals. It's just going to do the opposite. Self-sabotage through pride. Refusing to ask for help a lot of times is just pride. We don't want people to know that we need help because we don't want them to see us as weak and vulnerable. But actually recognizing vulnerability in ourselves and seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. And by not asking for help and by being too proud to ask for help, or being too proud to let people know that we have flaws, we are closing ourselves off from connection with others. All right, what about this one? Guilt of succeeding. You either feel unworthy of success, or you are afraid of what other people are going to think of your success. I've had this where I felt like I didn't want to share my successes because I didn't want somebody else to feel bad about themselves. But we need to see success as a tool for good, not something to feel guilty about. Celebrate your success, and then while you're standing at the top, reach down and grab someone else's hand and pull them up with you. All right, I talked about this in my last video as well. Being busy. Using busyness as an avoidance mechanism. I thought that I used busyness as a way to feel productive and feel good about myself, but I'll be honest, I've also used busyness as an excuse to not participate in things or not commit to things. And being busy has often been an excuse for me to not excel in something. We should prioritize meaningful work over constant activity. And here's the last one that I'm going to share from the book. Spending time with the wrong people. Relationships should uplift, not drain you. If you are spending time with people as much as you love them, it might be family, it might be a friend group, it might be people from your church, it might be coworkers, but if you're spending time with people that are making you feel some kind of way that's not good, they may be making you feel inadequate, or they may be holding you back because you're feeling guilty about leaving them behind. They may be tempting you with bad habits. If you're spending time with people who are doing those things, then you're sabotaging yourself. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and people that help you want to be a better person. People that inspire healthy habits, and people that inspire you to get out of your comfort zone, and people that are in positions that you admire and that you want to be in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you won't miss it. What is the irrational fear that's holding you back? So you may have noticed yourself in some of these self-sabotage methods. But how do we overcome it? Self-sabotage isn't something to be ashamed of, it's something to overcome. The fact that you're here learning about it means you're already taking the first step towards change. In the next video, I'm going to go back to the book and discuss the strategies that Brianna gives us to identify self-sabotage and overcome it. If you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It would really help me bring you more content. And let me know in the comments, which of these self-sabotaging habits have you struggled with the most? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.